minutes.
Entrepreneurship and employee ownership as well. I rise in support of H.R. 5719, the Empowering Employees Through Stock Ownership Act, a bill that will allow certain employees, recipients of employer stock, to defer paying income tax on the stock until they're able to liquidate a portion of the stock to pay those taxes, or once and 7 years have passed, whichever comes first. This is a modest but meaningful step in the right direction. It's a modest and meaningful step towards transforming our economy into an ownership society where employees are empowered with a direct and enduring stake in the well-being of their company. I applaud Representative Polson for offering this legislation, and Chairman Brady for shepherding it through his committee and onto the floor. As you may know, Mr. Speaker, I have a bill that was crafted in the same spirit as this bill that we are considering today. It is a bill that, in my view, should be this body's next step after this step forward toward creating an ownership society. My bill, the Expanding Employee Ownership Act of 2016, which is H.R. 4577, would permanently exempt from income tax liability any stock that was received by employees as part of a broad-based distribution to all employees, so long as the employees held on to the stock for 5 years. If the employee holds the stock for 10 years or more, after that, a mechanism is triggered that allows the employees to sell their stock free of capital gains tax. So giving the employee a pass on on income tax for their stock or capital gains tax for their stock, we will greatly expand the number of working people in our country who own part of the company, and maybe even a majority of the company owned by employees throughout this country. As we know, employee ownership has many positive attributes, as this bill takes us a step toward that. Studies show that employees who own a share in their company are more productive and prudent, and they actually the studies further show that employee-owned companies are generally more profitable and have a lower turnout rate. You have a solidarity between management and labor when the people working for a company own part of the company that they work for. It's more of a partnership. Free enterprise doesn't just mean profit motive for the capitalists. It means a profit motive, and we're all not only just profit motive, but it means freedom for everyone to participate in a system that ownership is so important to standard of living. What's been really very disturbing in our society for these last 30 and 40 years is we see the income disparity that exists in our society. Much of it is because working class people have been kept out of capital ownership. And in those small number of Americans who own the capital have now vast amounts of wealth. Well, I'm not against people being wealthy, but I think that we should make sure our system is designed as our founding fathers meant it to be, where you have a maximum amount of people enjoying the freedom and liberty and rights of all the rest of the citizens. This bill today, and my proposal, would just take us down a path in which employees and ordinary working people would not only have a stake in their own company, but probably would have a stake in owning capital, which would bring down this disparity between working people and people of wealth. So today I ask my colleagues to join me in supporting this legislation.
Expired. Gentleman from